This is an official broadcast from the Emergency Civil Safety Commission, timestamp 2:03 a.m. Eastern District Protocol. This is not a test. All residents within the 14-mile containment radius are advised to remain indoors and monitor this transmission in full. The property at 1432 Old Timber Road, previously condemned in 1991, has been reoccupied by private civilians under an undisclosed real estate transaction. County records confirm that a family of three, David and Mira Langston, along with their daughter, Elsa, moved in approximately 6 nights ago. We repeat, no real estate agency has claimed the sale, and the deed was signed with ink that cannot be lifted or verified. There was no moving truck. No neighbors recall seeing the Langstons arrive. The home was simply lit one evening, like someone had turned it back on. The house, known colloquially among Bridge Hollow residents as the Seep House, was left uninhabited following a string of unresolved disappearances tied directly to the structure. These included 2 fire inspectors, 1 postal carrier, and a previous tenant whose body was never recovered. Inside the walls, authorities found scratches deep, raw scratches at exactly shoulder height. There are no animals in the house. There is no insulation. But when investigators opened a wall panel behind the fireplace, they found a single, moldy mattress wedged between beams. It was still warm on the Langston's second night. They contacted municipal records requesting floor plans. Mira stated she'd woken up on the wrong side of the house, that her bedroom had shifted locations. She insisted the stairs had moved. David described the walls as sweating. When asked to clarify, he said the wallpaper was dripping from the inside. The family's daughter, Elsie, told a neighbor that she had been playing with the boy in the mirror. When asked his name, she laughed and said, "He doesn't need one anymore." 3 nights ago, a noise complaint was filed by an adjacent property. The report stated, "Screaming, but underwater, like drowning someone over and over." But it won't take. First responders entered the home at 1:47 a.m. and were met with complete silence. Every room was cold. The lights flickered in a pattern that, when analyzed, formed a Morse sequence spelling out the phrase, "Do not turn around." Surveillance footage from the responders' body cam shows the family seated at the dinner table, eyes open, pupils dilated, all 3 facing away from the cameras. None acknowledged the officers. One officer approached and gently tapped Mira Langston on the shoulder. Her head turned to slowly and kept turning past 180 degrees. Her jaw opened in what the teen described as a controlled tear. She whispered, "We're only renting skin." After that moment, transmission from the team's devices becomes corrupted. The remaining 48 seconds are filled with high-frequency distortion and a low rhythmic thudding. Every thud matches a heartbeat. The officer whose cam was still rolling has not been recovered. His body, Nick, was later found buried in the backyard, 7 feet deep, still broadcasting. Yesterday, at 4:14 p.m., Elsie Langston was spotted walking barefoot on the edge of Highway 9, humming an untraceable tune. When a patrol car approached, she looked directly at the dash cam and mouthed the words, "He likes it better without doors." Authorities report her mouth didn't move right, like it had learned how to do it from the outside. The house is now surrounded by perimeter fencing. However, it appears the structure is no longer respecting spatial boundaries. A resident reported seeing a hallway appear in their own home, connecting directly to the Langston kitchen. No such hallway existed before. The resident's young son walked through it before it vanished. He has not returned, but his laughter can still be heard beneath the floorboards when the stove is turned on. Please remain in your homes. Do not answer if anyone knocks more than twice. The 3rd knock is not for you. If you hear your child speaking from inside a closet but your child is beside you, close the door. Nail it shut. Do not speak their name. Names are invitations now. Do not attempt to pray inside the house. The house knows. One officer was heard saying the Lord's Prayer, and the power shut off mid-sentence. He was found whispering, "Lead us into temptation" on loop. His eyes were filled with dust, not blind, just packed. If you see the Langstons on your property, do not remind them where they live. They've started to forget, but something else remembers. Something else has always lived there. It only borrows families. It only wears them long enough to wave at the neighbors. The following footage will be corrupted. That is expected. It is not a malfunction. Please do not adjust your screen. Please do not record this transmission. The house does not like being seen too clearly. It blurs. It folds. It rewrites. The staircase has gone sideways. We will now read a containment prayer. Do not repeat after us. Do not speak aloud. Do not make eye contact with your television. If the walls begin to breathe with you, stop breathing first. This message will repeat once, unless you already live there, in which case you've never left.